What's up? It's Tice. And if someone were to tell me when I was just starting out phone flipping that I could run one ad and have one buyer that buys all my phones and make $10,000 a month just from that, I would think it's a scam and I would think they're lying. But I've been doing exactly that for over a year now. I have one Facebook ad running and I have one buyer that buys every single one of my phones. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how this process works, how I actually make this amount of money doing this, and here's just proof right here. Like here's just some payouts from last month, and I think some are from the month before, but this is just proof that I actually get payouts from my buyers. These are proof of payouts from my buyers. I just get the money deposited in my account from one single buyer. I don't sell to multiple buyers. I don't sell phones on Facebook or anything like that. And I just have one ad that I just actually shut off. But it was doing pretty good, 264 messages, $2.21 per lead. And I spent about $583 on this ad. So this is literally all I do. I just have one ad running that is obviously a winning ad that's proven to work, that I know is going to win with a proven script and ad copy that's proven to work and everything like that. And I just have a buyer that's there to buy all my phones. I don't sell to multiple people. I sell to one buyer. So in this video, I'm really just going to go over everything and how my whole entire system works. Because if you were to tell me I could just run one Facebook ad, get all my phones through there, and then sell all my phones to one single person, I would be like, you're bullshitting. And that's kind of sounds a little scammy. That doesn't sound real, right? But this is literally how my process works when I phone flip. And this is what I teach everybody, like what to do, because I think this is the most simple way, and it's the simple way to phone flip, and it'll make you the most amount of money for sure. And it's definitely the most time efficient. Don't get me wrong. If you actually want to be making the amounts of money that I'm making and, get into the 5-figure range, you have to be working a lot, but it is a lot simpler when you're not reaching out to hundreds of people a day on Facebook Marketplace. And you're also not selling, well, not hundreds of people a day, but like 20, 30, 40 people a day. And it's also a lot easier when you're not selling to a bunch of randoms on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. You're not having a bunch of random meetups, and you're not selling phones one by one to a bunch of random people, a bunch of individuals. It's a lot better when you have one ad that brings in inbound leads. So this is pretty much how my system works. I have one winning ad that obviously I've spent thousands of thousands of dollars on ads. So obviously I would know by now, like over the last year and a half. So obviously by now I know what actually works, because I've tested different ads. I've tested a million different ads. I've worked with people that have ran ads for me that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads. So I know a good ad. I know how to make good ads specifically for phone flipping, not for any other business, but specifically for phone flipping. I know how to actually make good ads. And I just have one winning ad that runs every single day. Depending on the season, because sometimes, like right now is kind of like the slow season of phone flipping. So this is when I would sort of like up the ad spend. But normally I run the ad at like $20 to $40 a day, sometimes a little bit more, depending on, again, the season and maybe if I want to spend a lot more on ads. And then that will bring in a consistent like 10 to 20 leads a day. And again, these are just inbound leads that come to me to sell me a phone. And that's literally how my business works. Like it's not much more than that. I have inbound leads coming every single day to sell me a phone from an ad that is proven to work, that runs every single day at $20 to $40 a day. Yes, a day. And obviously some people might be scared to invest that type of money, but you're investing it in your business. And if you just think of it as, if I'm spending $20 a day on Facebook ads, I'm going to consistently get 10 to 20 people reach out to me. And if I close even one of those people, that pays for the day in ad spend and I make profit, right? So when you boil it down to like what's actually going to come out of that ad, like $20 a day, it sounds like a lot, but if you're just burning $20 a day, you're not getting anything from it. Yeah, it will add up. But if you're burning $20 a day and you're making $100 profit per phone that comes to you, maybe you pick up 2 phones, 3 phones a day, you're making that money back and more. So it's obviously worth it. It might be a little scared to like invest that much amount of money per day. But as long as you have an actual proven to work ad that is going to work, then it's very predictable, and it'll bring in consistent leads. So yeah, that's pretty much the way I source my phones, is just one winning ad. Like I said, this is my most recent ad that I ran. I'm currently not running any ads right now, but I just shut this one off. And from that ad, I met multiple suppliers. Now, I've had one supplier throughout like the whole entire time I've been phone flipping. I've had one supplier that's been super, super reliable. Basically, what I mean by supplier is like it's another phone reseller that supplies me with phones in bulk. So it might be 40 phones a week, it might be 50 phones a week, it might be 20 phones a week, right? The point is that it's just another phone. Like, it's no special dude, it's no special store or no special website I buy phones from. It's just another dude who I met that also does phone flipping, that gets phones at a lot lower of a price than I do. And he sells his phones to me. So I'm technically like his private buyer, like his wholesale buyer. And I met that dude through Facebook ads. And I've had this one consistent supplier throughout like kind of this whole time I have been phone flipping. I've had one consistent supplier. And from these Facebook ads, I have had multiple suppliers, come and go. Some suppliers will sell me 20 phones, I'll never see them again. Some will sell me, 10 phones a week for a couple months, and I'll never see them again. So people come and go, but the point is that they come through the Facebook ads. And Alexa, off. And yeah, I get those inbound leads come to me, and those suppliers will come. And I always say, like, if you show up every day, you're running your ad every single day. Because I don't pause I just shut off my ad because I'm about to make a new one and test more ads, but I don't shut off my ads. I keep the ad running no matter what. I don't pause the ad. If I'm going to what was I going to say? If I want to shut off the ad, I lower the budget. So if I'm on vacation or something, or maybe I don't have time that week to pick up phones or whatever it is, whatever the case scenario is, maybe I'm going to visit family, I'm not going to be around in the location for the week or whatever, I never shut off my ads. I always run them every single day. I'll just lower the budget to like $1 a day, because you never want to shut off your ads, because when you turn them back on, they're never going to be the same. So that's one little golden nugget right there. Never shut off your ads, never pause your ads, any bullshit like that. But back to what I was saying, that's where all my lead flow comes from. No matter if it's a supplier or whatever it is, everything comes from ads. Like, everything comes from ads. My referrals come from the people that I met from ads. What I mean by that is, like, I meet a person, someone sells me a phone that came through my ad, and I meet up with them, I get their phone number, they refer me a customer, or they'll come back themselves. So yeah, it's a little bit of all my actual leads come from inbound leads, so Facebook paid ads and Instagram ads, and I make those customers worth more by obviously having a process in between when I buy their phone and the whole entire system, between buying another phone from them, reaching out to them a couple more times, asking for a referral, asking for a review. So there's a little bit of a system that goes into it. I'm not just buying these people's phones and then just saying, all right, thank you for the phone. Like, there's a system in place that I have to actually make the customer worth a lot more. I can make another video about that, but obviously I'm making the customer worth a lot more by having them leave me a review, having them give me a referral, getting their phone number, because I could always text them when the new phone comes out, because normally people have, more phones, and some people just have more phones laying around. So there's a lot of ways that I could make that customer worth more, because every single person that comes through my ad, normally they're worth like $70 to $100 profit, or $70 to $120 profit per phone. But obviously I make them worth more by buying more phones from them, getting referrals from them, and also getting reviews from them. So there's more ways I can make money through that one customer. So yeah, that's just like another little tip. But yeah, like I said, this one supplier brings me like 20 to 40 phones per week. And from the supplier, when I'm getting phones in bulk, it's a lot more different. So when I do have a supplier that comes to me, I'm not looking for $100 profit per phone. I'm not looking for $200 profit per phone, because I'm going to lose that connection. I'm looking for $30 to $50 profit off phone, maximum $50 profit, because I'll go into that in a second. But yeah, it works a little different with suppliers. So I have one supplier brings me phones in bulk, making $30 to $50 profit off each. I have one winning ad, runs every day, and I get inbound leads from that every single day. And all those phones, they just go straight to the wholesale buyer. I don't sell them on Facebook Marketplace. I don't sell them to I don't sell to different buyers anymore. I sell to some local buyers if I know I could get more. But I have a main wholesale buyer where hundreds of my phones go to. And then there's some phones that I will sell to like shops in my area. Just it is a little bit more of a hassle, but if I do want to make, $170 or $250 profit instead of like $100, then I'll sell it to that. But sometimes I couldn't be bothered by driving all the way here to sell to a shop. And there's a couple of different case scenarios, but mainly everything just goes to one wholesale buyer. And honestly, if I've been lucky enough to build up a lot of connections in my area with local buyers and phone stores, but mostly throughout my whole entire phone flip, throughout the whole entire time I've been phone flipping, I've been dealing with one wholesale buyer. And just as I've gotten deeper and deeper into this game, I meet more and more people, and I've been lucky enough to actually meet more and more good buyers that pay good prices for certain phones. So, but mainly everything still goes to one buyer, but eventually you will meet more people that give good prices for certain phones and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get into depth and all that. But this is literally how my system works. Like, I have one winning ad, brings all my phones. I have one supplier that I met through the ad, and everything goes straight to a wholesale buyer. And this is what actually makes me this amount of money. The buyer sends me the money, and I repeat the process, invest that money right back into more phones, get cash, and buy phones with that money. So this is really like everything. This is like literally my business right here. I just have one ad running, sell everything right to one wholesale buyer. And if you want to actually do this too, you want to stop doing outreach or selling the phones on one by one on Facebook Marketplace. If you are doing that and you want me to help you one-on-one with this, you could click the first link in the description if you want any help, and you could book on a call with me, and I'll just help you out with this whole entire process. You want to learn from somebody who's actually done it before and actually making this amount of money, you could learn from me. It'll bring you to this. If you click that first link in the description, it'll bring you to this explainer video. There's like the work with me page, so you just watch this video. It'll kind of just tell you who I can and can't help, and if you do want any help, you could book on that call, and I'll help you. Just really make more money with phone flipping, kind of just get on the system that I use. I could connect you to my wholesale buyer, the winning ads and everything like that. But yeah, if you do want help with this, you want just guidance on what to do and how to do it, you could book that call. But other than that, I hope this video provides some value to you, because you just got to realize that it's very, once you symbolize, I don't even know if that's a word, but symbolize and systemize everything, it could be a lot easier. Instead of getting phones from multiple different customers, well, obviously you do have to get phones from multiple different customers, but if you have a supplier, obviously, you get a lot of phones from that one dude. But instead of getting phones from a ton of different people and then selling them to a ton of different people and having a bunch of these different ways to source phones, and then a bunch of these different people to sell to, and you're selling on eBay, you offer a marketplace and a buyer here, a phone shop there, instead of a whole bunch of bullshit just scrammed all around, I recommend kind of wiping everything and honestly try this out by running one ad and selling to one wholesale buyer, and work from there. Work your way up from there, because this is the best foundation you can start off at. What will definitely bring in the most money, the most simple way to actually phone flip. And there's a lot less moving parts. Whereas if you're sourcing phones from Facebook, eBay, ads, a whole bunch of other bullshit, and then you're also selling your phones on eBay, Facebook, OfferUp, freaking whatever it is, Kijiji and eBay, I already said that probably, and everywhere. There's a lot less moving parts, and it's a lot more simple, and you will make also a lot more money. So yeah, I hope this opens your eyes, because you just need one ad, one buyer, and you can make 10K a month just from that. Like, I promise you, if you have the right shit dialed in, you can make 10K a month. So yeah, again, if you do want any help with this and you want help with actually getting just a winning ad and wholesale buyer, you could book that call. But see you guys later.